Good morning, class. So today we will discuss genetic technologies and treatment. So what are the examples of DNA technology? So the first one is the recombinant DNA, wherein it is the joining together of DNA molecules from two different species. So the recombined DNA molecule is inserted into a host organism to produce a new genetic combinations that are valued to the science, medicine, agriculture, and industry. The focus of the recombinant DNA is to provide direct gene products such as peptides and proteins, and the examples are the insulin, the growth hormones, and the clotting factors. It also targets the carbohydrates and lipids by affecting the genes that encode enzymes required to synthesize them. So what are the drugs produced using recombinant DNA technology? So there are many examples of drugs. The first one is the atrial natriuretic peptide that dilates blood vessels, promotes urination. We also have the CSF that help restore bone marrow after transplant and restore blood cells following cancer chemotherapy. We also have DNase and the epidermal growth factor that accelerates healing of wounds and burns and can also be used to treat gastric ulcers. We also have the EPO that stimulate the production of the RBC and factor 8 for blood clotting treatment for hemophilia. We also have the glucocerebrosidase that corrects enzyme deficiency in Gaucher disease. We have also the human growth hormone and the insulin for the type 1 diabetes. Then also we have interferons that treats genital warts, hairy cell leukemia, hepatitis C and B, Kaposi, sarcoma, and multiple sclerosis. Then IL-2 for kidney cancer recurrence. We also have the lung surfactant protein, the renin inhibitor, the somatostatin, the superoxide dismutase that prevents further damage to heart muscle after heart attack, and the thrombin for post-surgical bleeding, and the tissue plasminogen activator or TPA that dissolves blood clots. The second type of DNA technology is the transgenic. So having genetic material from another species. So this term can be applied to an organism that has genes from another organism. It is understood that the foreign genes are in the transgenic animal's germ cell DNA and so can be transmitted from one generation to the next. So what are the examples of transgenic organisms? So first example is the animal models. So they are useful models of human disease. So example natin are the mice and the rabbits. So researchers cannot control where a transgene inserts in a genome and how many copies do so. So the level of gene expression necessary for a phenotype to emerge may also differ in the model in humans. So animal model may not mimic the human condition exactly because of differences in the rates of development. Yeah. So what are the examples? So we have the rhesus macaque. So it is a monkey. Then we also have the Syrian golden hamster and the AG129 mouse. So these are the animals that are used for animal models. So what are the advantages of the rhesus macaque monkey? So it is similar to human disease and it has intact immune response and best predictive model for vaccines and therapy. While our golden hamster um, models disease well and has intact immune response and commercial availability is okay kasi mabilis mag-reproduce ng hamster. And we also have the AG129 mouse. Reagents available, so many used for clinical isolates. Ang disadvantages, our monkey has more severe diseases and costly mahal siya and there are ethical concerns and they're difficult under BSL-3 conditions. While the disadvantages for the hamster is lack of reagents and requires hamster adaptive virus and slightly different liver pathology. And for the EG129 mouse, the similarity to disease in man, and also has compromised innate immunity and limited commercial availability. Then the next type of transgenic organisms are our GMO, or genetic modified foods. The DNA-based techniques manipulate one or few specific genes or to over or underexpress their own genes are termed genetically modified organisms, or GMOs. So what are the advantages of GMOs? So the manufacturers uses genetic modification to give foods desirable traits, so making crops more resistant to diseases as they grow, more nutritious or tolerant to herbicides. It also makes the plants more resistant to diseases spread by insects or virus and results in higher yields for farmers and more attractive product, and can also increase nutritional value or enhance flavor. So what are the disadvantages? So it may cause allergic reaction. The study shows that it may also cause cancer or antibacterial resistance and outcrossing. So these are the examples of GMO. We have the golden rice, or the rice that are modified with daffodil genes to have more beta carotene, which the body converts to vitamin A. Kaya that's why it's yellow than the usual white rice. Then we have the flavor saver tomatoes. So they are modified tomatoes. So they remove the genes that responsible for softening the fruit and makes the spoilage more slowly than the usual. Then we also have the BT corn, or the corn that is modified with the bacterial insecticide gene so that it produces insect toxins within its cells, protecting it from pest species. Then we also have the Aqua Advantage salmon. So they are salmon modified with growth hormone. So they are bigger than the usual size. Then we also have the glow in the dark animals. So they are the animals that has fluorescent proteins. And they serve no practical purposes. Then we also have, next to DNA technology, we also have bioremediation. So bacteria or plants with the ability to detoxify certain pollutants are released or grown in particular area. So it uses genes that enable an organism to metabolize a substance that to another species is a toxin. So it uses an altered organism and also transfers detox genes to other species so that the protein products can easily penetrate a polluted area. So it can tap the metabolisms of transgenic microorganisms, sending them into the plants whose roots then distribute the detox proteins into the soil. So usually this is done to detoxify the soil after being over polluted. So they will remove the contaminants and the microbes. So to make the place or a certain area to recover. And we also have gene slicing, which blocks synthesis of or degrade the messenger RNA. So it refers to a mechanism by which cells shut down large sections of chromosomal DNA. It is generally used to describe the switching off of a gene by a mechanism other than genetic modification. So what happens is that after transcription, there will be gene silencing, the switching off. Yan. So magi-stop na. Then gene silencing, we have different types. We have the antisense technology and the RNA interference. So for antisense technology, it blocks expression of a gene by introducing RNA that is complementary to the gene's mRNA transcript. So the antisense RNA binds to the messenger RNA that prevents translation into protein. So example are the flavor saver tomato and the morpholinus. And for RNA interference, based on the fact that RNA molecules can fold into short double-stranded region where the base sequence is complementary. So in 2006, Andrew Fire and Craig Mello received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for explaining how the RNA interference works. So they discovered that the short double-stranded RNAs sent into cells separate into single strands, one of which binds its complement in mRNA, preventing it from being translated. So this is an example of anti-sense technology. So it is used in the flavor saver tomato. So pag nag-ripe, automatic red agad yung ating tomato. And it becomes more ripe and increases the flavor. While sa traditional tomato, while usually di ba, ano siya, green siya before siya maging ripe na red. So traditionally, these tomato are sprayed with ethylene after shipping to induce ripening. So it becomes ripe but decreases the flavor. Then we also have genome editing. So genome editing techniques creates double-stranded breaks in the DNA double helix, enabling insertion of a desired DNA sequence or removal of the sequence. So an enzyme cuts the DNA at a specific sequence, and when this is repaired by the cell, a change or edit is made to the sequence. So there will be a cut in the DNA sequence, then what happens is we change something in the sequence. We change the amino acid, the proteins that are found in the sequence, edit it, remove or add something to it to change the sequence. So there are two types of genome editing. So the zinc finger nuclease technology that uses protein motifs called zinc fingers that consist of a beta pleated sheet linked to an alpha helix by a zinc atom. So different zinc fingers bind different tree-based DNA sequences. Then we also have the CRISPR technology that uses an enzyme called the Cas9, which is guided by a short RNA to the complementary DNA that it then cuts on both strands. So the short DNA repeats in certain bacteria that enable the bacteria to excise viral DNA. So the CRISPR, short for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. So it uses RNA rather than proteins, and it is cheaper and easier to use, and it can cut out more than one gene at a time, enabling researchers to investigate gene interactions. So this is zinc finger nuclease, and this is the CRISPR-Cas9 technique. So gene therapy. So deliver working copies of genes to specific cell types of our body parts, typically aboard modified viruses. So there are two types of gene therapy, the germline gene therapy and the somatic gene therapy. So in germline gene therapy, it alters the DNA of a gamete or fertilized ovum so that all cells of the individuals have the change. And it is not being done in humans. While the somatic gene therapy corrects only the cells that an illness affects, so a recipient does not pass the genetic correction to the offspring. So example nito is clearing the lungs congested from cystic fibrosis with a nasal spray containing the CFTR genes. So the gene therapy strategies based on invasiveness. So there are ex vivo and the in vivo. Pag ex vivo, applied outside. Pag in vivo, in the living body. So what are the requirements for approval of clinical trials for gene therapy? So knowledge of the defect and how it causes symptoms and the course of the illness, an animal model or cultured human cells, no alternate therapies, or patients for whom existing therapies are not possible or have not worked, and making sure that the experiments are safe as possible. So what are the concerns circulating gene therapy? So scientifically, the questions are which cells should be treated and how, what proportion of the targeted cell population must be corrected to alleviate or halt progression of symptoms, is overexpression of therapeutic gene dangerous, is it dangerous if the altered gene enters cells other than the intended ones, how long will be the affected cells function, or will the immune system attack, introduce, or alter cells, and is the targeted DNA sequence is more than one gene. For bioethical issues, does the participant in a gene therapy trial truly understand the risk? Or if a gene therapy is effective, how will the recipients be selected, assuming it is expensive? And should rare or more common disorders be the focus of gene therapy research and trials? And what effect should deaths among volunteers have on the research efforts? And lastly, should clinical trials be halted if the delivered gene enters the germline? So that's the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something today.